Hi, this week we're going to look at interval training, what it is and how to fit it into a training regime. Interval training is any form of run training that involves running at different intensities over a period of time. It's a number of periods of harder intensity running called repeats or repetitions, which are followed by periods or intervals of low intensity to allow the body to recover before another period of higher intensity. With such a broad definition, it's possible to come up with lots of different formats for interval training, but you can break it down into training for pure speed or training for endurance. If you're training for speed, it's normal to have a long recovery period, and the length of the repetition will be for a much shorter duration. The idea being that for each rep is undertaken in a fully recovered state. For endurance, reps will normally be longer and the rest interval shorter, and normally the rest interval will not be sufficient for a full recovery. Most interval training we do for triathlons will focus on endurance, but we may also do some speed intervals. I mentioned in week 1 the 5 components of running fitness. In simple terms, interval training is important because it enables each of these components to be trained. Running at a harder intensity for a relatively short period of time helps build strength. Repeating the hard efforts helps build endurance. We can focus on speed endurance or just focus on improving maximum speed. Running faster encourages good running form and coordination. Flexibility and agility are also trained and improved. In general, interval training has been shown to be one of the most efficient and effective means of making running improvements. As I said earlier, any training that involves running at different intensities can be considered interval training, but there are some specific examples. Firstly, speed intervals. This is where each repetition is run at maximum speed over a short period, maybe 50 or 30 meters, and full recovery is allowed between each repetition. This could be up to 5 minutes or even more. Secondly, endurance intervals. This is what we typically focus on the Monday track sessions. These are repetitions of between 400 and 1600 meters, with relatively short recovery periods of around 2 minutes. This will not normally allow for a full recovery, hence helping to build up speed endurance over a period of time. Hill repeats are another form of interval training performed on a hill. They're very good at building strength and promote a high knee forward drive. Finally, fartlek. This is a continuous run interspersed with random periods of harder running. The randomness means you never quite know when the next hard period will come or how long the recovery period will be. As it's continuous, there is never a full recovery after each hard effort. Interval training includes running at a higher intensity than normal, and therefore it is important time is allowed afterwards to recover. For this reason, most people would not include more than 1 or 2 interval training sessions per week. Recovery is key, as that is when the body will adapt and respond to the training. Because of the high intensity nature of interval training, running form is also important, as running with good form will help avoid injury. Performing some running drills before an interval session is therefore a good idea to both warm up and condition the right movement patterns. Over time, it's possible to adjust the number of reps, length of reps, and the interval or rest period to make sessions progressively harder and therefore achieve continuous improvement.